don't sacrifice your rights.
Well, I understand. So I'm just, you know, I had.
Tim, you're killing me, man. You're killing me.
Well, sorry, Cory.
I know.
I need to be able to at least have my freedom of speech. And it was shut down again today.
How was it shut down? You spoke.
I didn't really get a chance to even ask the question that I was asking for after everybody spoke.
All right, well, ask me. I can answer it. I will.
Well, I appreciate that, Cory. And again, my big question on the legal side, and this really affects my friends here. Enforcement under Title 50 is pretty broad range, and we are not going to have any arguments. I don't think that the particular statute is broken and needs to be fixed at the legislative level.
Okay.
However, the question becomes, for these guys to enforce something that's determined by Governor Bullock as an executive, using the emergency order under Title 50 to institute that, the bottom line question really becomes, how do we citizens end up understanding, and how does Undersheriff Harris and Sheriff Wynn Meehan be able to move forward within the bounds of the Constitution as well as Montana statute when we focus on the mask itself? Where and what law in Montana enforces wearing a mask? That's a really big question, because nowhere can we find. Certainly you give latitude to a health department to make decisions, but at what point in time in history did our constitutional republic form of government end up being given to, for example, I will say a unelected appointed body that's coming from an executive, and at what point in time these are questions that have to be asked in order to take the pressure off of our sheriff's departments as our county attorneys. At what point did our executive branch become in the position to start affecting law? And there is no law. I can't find it.
It's not.
I can't find it, Cory.
So, you know, the reality is this. It's not a law. It's an order, or it's a public health order or public health directive.
Directive, exactly.
Under the governor's authority.
And I got both copies
Right.
from the March directive on up to the latest July 15th, which I was going to talk about but got shut down. Okay, I was going to ask the specific questions in those two orders. You know, we got a gentleman standing right here, an exception to this rule, but nobody's recognizing that because, and I said it at last week's meeting, there's fear, which is understandable, which comes to responsibility and respect, and I understand that. But at the same token, if we continue taking that chink of our rights, where does it stop? That's my question of the hour.
Well, here's what I can tell you. He is recognized as an exception. That's clear. I mean, he wasn't the point of discussion this morning. You were. So what I'm saying is, it's a public health order under Title 50. And I explained this in the meeting. Under Part 1, it's the state that can do it. Under Part 2, it's the local entity that can do it. Okay? I told the governor, don't do it. We had a meeting, told him don't do it. I told him this is exactly what's going to happen. Frankly, I think it's going to we're going to go backwards in helping the disease because of arguments like this. And it's worse because it's an election year and everybody's running for something, right? Right? I mean, the governor's running, his lawyer's running, his lieutenant governor's running. That's causing an overlayer of over-politicization here. But the reality is, my job is to enforce the law, even the laws I don't agree with. And in this case...
Again, let me stop you right there.
No, let me finish. The law is Title 50, Part 1, public health orders or directives issued by, and honestly, the way it would be cleaner, it says issued by the state director of DPHHS. What the governor's done is he's incorporated that authority in his executive orders. So he has the authority to do it, I believe, until the court tells him otherwise. I doubted the wisdom of it. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
But the reality is we're not going to, and this goes back to your point. If you're there as a member of the press, that's one thing. If you're there as a member of the public asserting your rights, that's another. I think you need to pick. We're not going to, and this goes back to your point, if you're there as a member of the press, that's one thing. If you're there as a member of the public asserting your rights, that's another. I think you need to pick.
Is there a reason, Cory, that I should sacrifice one right over another to attend a public government meeting?
That's fine. I'm just saying as a standard of journalistic ethics, you're either making the news or reporting the news. That's what I'm saying.
I would ask you to show me where I'm wrong there, as far as violating any rules or policies in Broadwater County.
I'm not saying that. Most of these issues aren't a matter of law. They're a matter of what have I been saying publicly. They're a matter of courtesy. They're a matter of respect for each other. Do the right thing, even when you don't like it, even under protest. That's what I'm trying to get done. Meanwhile, we got a whole bunch of business that we can't get done now. And, you know, what have I been doing the last 10 days? What have these guys been doing the last 10 days? Well, they're prosecuting rape, assault with a weapon, serious crimes. That's what I want to focus my time on, not this stupid mask work.
And I understand painting this into a I will use my term, a worthless exercise in rights over the need to exercise the protections and the duties of the officials of the county for the citizens. I think is certainly, I understand, you know, there's that, but having me painted into that corner of saying, you know, throw your rights in the trash for now. Just go ahead and just forget that. Forget your freedom of speech. Forget this, forget that. Forget your freedom of press. Go ahead and just step back and allow this thing to circle itself out. What happened in Germany? I mean, I'm a history buff, and I can keep going and going and going, but I'm not going to go there. My whole point is in Broadwater County, we need to maintain our position as citizens with rights without sacrifice. So I guess it comes down to the point here today where if I am in violation of a particular law, and I know you're busy with real cases that really have merit for the constitutional rights of the citizen, and I will say this one is just equally as important when it comes to an individual right. Brandon, if you would like to maybe just give me a citation, and I'll go ahead and take this to the next level.
We're not going to do that.
I'm not going to back down. I'm sorry.
Then you need to file a lawsuit. That's what you need to do. You need to get this in front of a judge that says,
give me a citation, and I'll be in front of the judge. That's fine. We can talk about it some more, but I got to be honest, sir, and I respectfully respect you guys. You guys are on the fire, and I hate it no less than you do.
I understand.
No less than you do.
I got you.
But I have personally watched for the last 20 years the rights of the citizens in this county being stomped on. And I've tried every which way from my early days of coming out of the bottle of Jack Daniels with my logger boots on, stomping on the table, saying, hey, this is enough of this, to taking action, running for office, trying to make sure that I could get a seat at the table on behalf of the people. I have come a long ways. Some people don't agree with that, and that's fine. That's politics, right? I don't want to get into the politics on this. I want to stand on my rights.
All right.
That's fine.
In the meantime, we've got 6,000 other people in this county that we have to deal with, and we have to try and serve, okay? That's our issue.
I understand.
What I don't want is 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people to take up 95% of my time, and then crimes aren't getting prosecuted.
And then quit being two-faced about it, saying you don't like it, but you're going to do it.
That's my job. If I have to enforce a law, even if I don't like it. No, that's not how it works, Dwayne. We don't pick and choose. I have to enforce laws I don't like.
I respectfully understand where you're coming from, Cory, and I'm not here to argue with you guys other than if I have to go what has happened here just recently with a law that's violated in Montana, and we have to go through a process that takes, the first time it took 8 years, well actually 10. The next time, here we are, pushing 1.5 years, and we're just now moving forward in order to hold accountable on behalf of the 6,000 people that you're speaking about. And we keep seem to have that same book open where, well, step back, let the system take care of your rights and do what's right, and that's what it's for. That's a constitutional republic. But when we are not getting there, the citizens have to step up. And a lot of people, I will be honest, and I'm not looking for the limelight. I'm not looking for the spotlight. But a lot of people out of the 6,000 do not have the time to be here. They work. Number two, a lot of them don't have the courage to stand up to anything. So on behalf of the citizens, from both ways of everything I try to do, that's why I'm here today, and that's why I keep hoping that we can get a seat at the table on behalf of the people that isn't compromised every week. And there's two gentlemen inside this building that every week compromise that position.
Well, I don't agree with that.
I know you do. So I'm going to move forward, and we'll see what you have to say, where we can move forward with this. Otherwise, I guess I will just look forward to having
I'll give you a call.
a citation if that's what it comes down to, because I am not going to sacrifice my rights, bottom line.
Sounds good.
I'll call the sheriff. We'll give you a call and then we'll arrange a meeting, okay?
Thank you, sir.